Hi guys, Bob Braudrick. It is our next little installment of sales training. I want to go a little bit old school for a minute. Most of this is stuff we've covered, but it's nice now and then to remember some of the basics. Somebody was reminding me the other day discussing sales training and forgetting some of the great places that are the breeding grounds of salespeople, the boot camps. Somebody says, I want to learn how to be a salesperson. Honestly, your best step, it's like saying, I want to learn how to be a general. You got to go to basic training. You got to get busted up for a while first. Take 6 months and sell life insurance with a really high-end, high-pressure company, sell cars at a large dealership, sell furniture at a large furniture store. I know there's another one I can't think of, but there's really only 3 or 4 industries this can fit. Go sell hot tubs. Anything that is high volume people, high pressure, gotta go, big turnover. Great core breeding grounds. These are where you make your bones. These are where you find out, can I handle rejection? Do I like competition? Because let's be honest, sales is competition, period. If you love competing, you should love sales. If you don't, you probably won't. But one of the things about those is they have old core training. There's no high end. There's no understand your client. There's no bond to this. There's no structure of the atmosphere. It's just boom, boom, boom. In other words, greet them, be aggressive, take control. Mirror. Remember mirroring? This is important. I mean, I forget some of this core stuff. Mirror. If your client's standing like this, stand like this. If your client's like this, you stand like this. If your client's doing this, you do this. Don't be too blatant. Don't sit there and try to be, Marcel, whatever, or, the mime. But basically do it. Basically, you want to mirror their body language's attitude. Mirror their voice. One of my favorite movies, I've told you this before, it's a terrible movie. Don't watch it, but go watch it. Used Cars. Kurt Russell. Came out in the 70s. One of my favorite scenes is when he's on this huge push. He's got to sell 1 million cars. Everyone he met, he took their body language, he took their accent, and he changed his name. It's, hey, how you doing? Jesus Martinez. Hey, John Rodriguez, how you doing, man? And it was, I'm Bill O'Reilly. John O'Toole. Oh, how are we people? And then he would stand how they stood, change his last name, went with the accent, blatant insulting. It doesn't work that blatantly. It was over the top. That's what makes things funny and help to make a point to you. What he was doing was mirroring. One of the original core things you have to do. The other one, and I think this actually has a better term, but I can't remember it, is guide. Guide. In other words, you say only positive things. And you do a lot of positive image to them. Because once you start mirroring them, they will subconsciously start to mirror you. This is old school sales stuff, but that's a really nice car, isn't it, Mrs. Johnson? You're looking for a sofa. Wouldn't that sofa look great in your house, Mrs. Wilson? And you say things like that. You ask a question where they got to respond in a positive. It's the old yes. You want yes, 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 yes. Never set them up for a no. And if you do, get a whole lot more yeses. And your body has to say yes. And you have to smile. And you have to constantly be, yeah, And it's okay if the first 2 times you do, everybody, new salesperson thrown in this system looks like a crazy rabbit trying to swim a river, right? They do this. But you do that a few times, so you start to learn, yeah, okay, You do a little sideways, but you do. And you do comforting gestures and guiding through. And then you keep saying you want to make it personal. Isn't this going to be a wonderful home for you, Mr. Wilson? Oh, can't you just imagine the kids playing in the yard out there, and you look at the yard and you kind of, forlorn? What are they going to do? They're going to mirror you and they're going to look at the yard and go, this guy's a dork, but I want to be polite. Remember, people are insecure and they want to be polite as well. Oops, I'm going too complex. Guide, do the yes. And then remember, ask for the close. Assume it and hand them the pen to sign. There's so many closes, but the most basic one, the core one you're going to learn is just ask to sign by statement of fact. In other words, it's a really great sofa, isn't it, Miss Johnson? Now, this is what we were looking for. Now, I know you were thinking brown, but from what you told me, isn't this teal is really going to work great in your living room, isn't it? Well, and didn't we love how that set and worked? Now, we pulled the tape measure. It's exactly the right dimensions, isn't it, Miss Wilson? Okay, great. Well, can you follow me over here for just a sec? Print. Okay. Just sign right here. And by the way, I need to fill in. Do you want that to deliver on Wednesday or Thursday? Ask them to sign by statement of fact. It's not a question of are you gonna, would you like to buy, or hey, why don't we go over here and do the paperwork? No subtlety at all. Just statement of fact. We've already confirmed this is the right sofa. We love it. It's going to fit. We follow over, we print, and we say, we'll just sign right here and fill in. Do you want it Wednesday or Thursday? If you don't want to do the Wednesday or Thursday, just sign right here and we'll get it loaded up. Hey, go simpler. All right. So this is you. This is a sofa. Okay, I just need you to sign right here. And when you get to that one, and this is the bigger one, you got to remember the old great adage, shut the hell up and hand the pen to them. Don't expect them to get their own pen. Don't expect them to take the pen out of your hand. Preferably don't lay it down, though laying it down is fine. It's not that big a deal. I love it when you take the pen and you hold it gently like this, because not taking the pen is a much more personal rejection of you, and it's very hard for people to do that. We're running on old school, hardcore pressure techniques, okay? They're not bad, they're just reality. They work. It's all right to set the pen, but rejecting the desk is easier than rejecting you. Just ask them to sign. These little things matter. These little old style techniques are a big part of. It doesn't matter why the client does them. It doesn't matter how they go there. It's just good, clean, old school, important fun. It's a competition. You're playing the game. Push through, grind through. If you were never blessed to sit in one of those boot camps for sales training, there are plenty of books out there on this stuff. Go old. You're going to find better ones written in the 70s than you are in the 2000s on this kind of stuff. Classic closes. The old school closes. Who's head of your household, Mr. Johnson, when the wife's not there and you're making a decision? You know, the confrontational ones. Let them get mad. Let them insult you. Some of these don't work today. That's okay. There's new ones that replace them. You'll think up your own new ones that replace them. But go with them. Heck, if nothing else, get some of the humor out of them. But I tell you true, and I want to touch base on this. Every great life insurance salesperson, there may be two out there in the United States. Have them give me a call. I'd love to meet them if they didn't fall under this. Every one of them, at some stage or another, trained under this format. I don't even know where it came from. I think it was originated by New York Life. They may have just stolen it, and that's where I know. But rebuttal, which I misspelled, list. You know what they're taught? They're taught, get a phone. Start with people you know. It's one of the things when they hire you, We won't hire you until you bring us a list of 200 people you know. It's just to prove that you're willing to call somebody. 200, you're going to burn out fast. You're going to burn out in one day. You know what they teach you next? Here's the phone book. Most of them, the good ones, have been doing this long enough. They've got a list of people so you feel like they're qualified, that for some reason or another somebody got their name and phone number once upon a time. You can grab the phone book and go. Dial them for dollars. It doesn't matter. You are basically going to take the phone. Yeah, Mr. Johnson, this is Bob Braudrick with New York Life, and I was wondering if I could possibly meet with you about your financial needs, your life insurance, your potential, whatever phrase you want to throw, financial planning. Well, I'd like to meet with you about your family's financial planning. Would you possibly have some time? And then you ask. I mean, they seriously ask for the close. This is the opening script, is a 2-sentence, would you possibly have time to meet? And this is where, to my knowledge, this is the original alternative close. Would you like to meet at 3 a.m. or 6 p.m. better? Now, that doesn't work as well as it used to for a lot of us because it's been so overdone, but this is the origination. Now, here's where it comes down to. This person training has a sheet of paper, probably laminated. It has number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is objections. Every single person is going to have an objection that is one of these 7. To my knowledge, this list has never been added to. I mean, it is just, well, we don't want to talk to him about life insurance. That's number 3. Well, we have a family friend who is our agent. That's number 6. Well, you're an ass and don't ever call me again. That's number 2. Whatever the objection is, it's there. You hear what they say, you look at the number, you flip the daggum sheet. And on the back side is the rebuttal. Number 3. Well, I understand that you have all those taken care of, but isn't it wise just to have an idea of what you need to be planning for in the future? Everyone needs, I'm glad to hear that you have taken care of today. You're obviously wise enough for that. I would love to just take a moment, review what you might need to consider 5, 6, 10 years down the road, just to have your eyes open as life changes. Rebuttal 7, my family member. Well, I understand that you have a family friend that does that. Most people do, and that is great, but it's always good just to make sure that you've taken another concept into account. Most of us had that grandparent that, whatever, I mean, it is, read the sentence. A brine monkey that can take a sense of rejection can dial a phone number, read the opening sentence, pick which of the 7, flip the page, read the rebuttal word for word. My mentor, most successful man I know, Gary Davis, laughs about the fact that this is how he got started. He was a young, dumb, insecure kid, and he just sat down and figured they must know what they're talking about when they gave him sales training, so he did that. And he was in the Millionaires Life Insurance Club his first year. If you know how rare that is and how big a deal that was back in 1976, you know that's pretty impressive, especially for a guy that didn't even have his 200 contact list. This stuff works. Takes courage to do it. It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. Randomly picking a name out of the phone book, calling and having them say, leave me alone, and hanging up on you, should not hurt your feelings. It does, because you, as we talk about with other clients, are a little insecure in other things as well. So we do, but if you can survive that, the reason the boot camp is a great testing ground, this stuff works. You don't have to be all new school. Go old school. Buy Zig Ziglar's See You at the Top. Follow that advice. But you got to just push and you got to go. And here's where I want to end this. Because we were having a big discussion. What makes the perfect salesperson? What is the personality? Is it a certain attractiveness? Is it a certain charisma? Is it a certain attitude? Is it a certain confidence for, handling what makes the perfect salesperson? And I looked at them as everybody debated, And I said, you're all, pardon my French, you're all full of shit. There's no such thing. There's one thing and one thing only that makes a perfect salesperson. Period. And I don't care if he's short. I don't care if he's fat. I don't care if he's pretty. I don't care if he's ugly. I don't care if he can't talk without a stumble and a mumble. You want to know what makes a great salesperson? Don't quit. Hunger in your daggum belly. That desire to push. That cool hand Luke that gets beat up, knocked to the ground, gets up, dusts off, only to get knocked again, and that will not quit getting up until he or she is dead. That is a great salesperson. That person will begin with mirroring, with guiding, with script closes, and will turn into somebody that should be writing novels and training Fortune 500 companies, and that universities should pay to have come and teach their business department how things really should work. Those people are rare. Are you the guy that gets back up or not? Teach you a lot of things and teach some stuff you don't like. Here's your core. You want to be a great salesperson? You want to be a huge success? Get up, dust yourself off, get knocked down again. That guy, that gal, that person is the perfect salesperson. Everything else does not matter. Now, if any of y'all have a psychological profile or test that can tell me whether somebody has that desire, please send it to me. I'll pay you 10 grand. In a heartbeat. Because that tells me who to hire. Love y'all. Thanks for watching.